Please come to order. We do have proof of posting in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code as amended, known as the Texas Open Meetings Act. Any members of the public who wish to speak shall each have 5 minutes to address the court. Mr. Morton.
Morning, Judge Grant and Commissioners. This is about the worst day I've had head ringing in this courthouse since I've been coming here. Last week, I was run out of my home at 4 a.m. with severe noise and head hurting all the way to Palestine, Texas. I didn't slow down below 80 miles an hour all the way there. And I was hurting the whole way. Went to the truck stop over there and everything was okay. That's what's happening in Freestone County. It's not getting any better. And even though I've spoken to the U.S. Department of Safety and Health, I'm in contact with the doctor that they referred me to in their organization. And I have sent him lots of information concerning low frequency noise and the vibroacoustic disease that it causes. And they acknowledge they don't know very much about this stuff. So that's the status today of what's happening in the government that will help us. But we can write letters to the governor of Texas and get him to have the Attorney General to make a decision as to where the noise is to be included in House Bill 1818, because it's not defined in the details in that particular law. But it will protect us if the Attorney General says noise is to be included to protect our citizens. We can write a letter to the governor asking him to get the Attorney General to give us a reading on that. And I think that's what we need to do, is ask the governor to ask that question. We need to be protected, and we're not. There's 21 counties in Texas that have more than 1,000 gas wells. Freestone County has 3,058 gas wells. But it's not the gas wells that's causing the problem. It's the compressor stations that are not being addressed in the state plan by the Railroad Commission that's causing the noise problem. You don't hear it. Most people don't hear it. Only 7% of people can hear it. It doesn't mean it's not there and it's not affecting their people. So I would request that Freestone County write a letter to the governor requesting an Attorney General opinion on House Bill 1818 as concerning the noise issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. If not, item number 1, burn ban. We did not have that on our previous meeting. I didn't know if we were at a point where we needed to be discussing this, or if we're just going to pass it till next Wednesday for a discussion then.
I think we need to have it on every agenda in case we do need to take it off. But you know, Washington County got rain the other day. Tig got 2.5 inches. I don't know about all this week, but they've got some rain before. But I just think we need to have it on our agenda in case we need to put the burn ban on.
So there's no motion today to put it on. All right. Item number 2, which is budget workshop. All right. Anyone that would like to discuss their budget requests at this time, we'll hear those discussions. We're working on a proposed budget right now. We file a proposed budget by the end of this month. Then we will have additional budget hearings in the first part of August. So we still will be making changes, even though we will have a proposed budget filed by the end of the month.
guess I'll go, since nobody else is gonna go first. God, I hate going first. All right, Cinnamon Archibald, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3. I mean, pretty much everything's the same. We just asked for a little bit more part-time because, like I said, Jamie's vacation. She's got 3 weeks of vacation. And plus, no sick time. So it's always nice to have somebody be able to come in and fill in. But the main thing is our court is gonna start handling, you know, we only handled up to $10,000 as far as civils go. Well, now it's going up to $20,000. And we already get, I mean, Teresa's office gets at least 10 a week, she said. I already got like 5 Monday, just starting off the week, and that's not counting the rest of the week. So that's just under 10,000. So now we're going up to $20,000, so it's gonna double in our courtrooms already, plus our evictions, plus we're behind because of COVID. We've already started doing our court stuff now. It was a hectic last Monday. We had court all day trying to catch up on some things. So that's why we're asking, like we've always been asking for. I don't think the Justice of the Peace have gotten a raise, an actual raise. I know since Teresa's been here 14 years, we've never gotten one, besides the regular 2% that everybody gets. We've been asking for our clerks to get a raise for the 14 years, and they still haven't gotten one either. So they're just barely tipping the 30,000. So that's what we're asking for in our offices.
And expense-wise, I know we haven't spent as much this year as normal, but we're
Yes.
on budgeting based on what we've done before, because we will have to catch up.
Right.
With COVID.
Yes, yes,
let's
definitely.
begin.
And we'll have, I mean, I think I maybe went up maybe like $100 on postage. I don't know what it's gonna be like with the 20,000. I don't know how many cases you get between the 10 and the 20 that we're gonna be getting. So, and I do wanna say that we did have our clerks working throughout the COVID at the office, there throughout the whole time. There was no closing down for a week or nothing like that. We were there every day. I had to quarantine for 14 days because my kid came home from Italy, because I had to, but otherwise, I mean, I was still at home making phone calls, whatever. But I mean, they worked through it all. Just like, you know, poor Jamie, her husband works at TDC, so she's trying to, both sides of it, trying to stay away from it. So, but they've been good. They've stayed in there and did what they're supposed to. I'd also asked, I think it's probably maybe part of the building budget, but to have a cleaning person come, because
I did include that.
you did? Okay, awesome. I didn't get to look at it yet, so, I don't, our
Every
person.
2 weeks, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Every other week.
Because the inmates,
I mean,
they're men, they don't know how to clean.
Yeah.
So, sorry, but it's true. And then, of course, for a long time, we didn't have inmates. That's why we had to start cleaning, because we had shut down the jail, so.
I did put that
It never
in the
comes
budget.
again. Okay. I didn't know, last person we had, she was pretty cheap, but she's not doing it anymore. So I don't
Yeah.
really even know what to
Yeah.
think of what a building, you know, they'll probably maybe compare it to who we all have here, so.
We'll have to try to find somebody that can come in and help with that.
Yes, ma'am. I think that's.
And you know,
it.
I appreciate y'all working, keeping your offices open and working. Most of the county employees have done that.
Right, yes,
And-
ma'am.
And
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I appreciate that.
And of course, we're still on call, we still get called out, we still get called to the hospitals, you know, during all this stuff, I still go in person to all of them, I still go in person to the sheriff's office, just because I like to see, just better to do my own stuff, so.
Also, we've been discussing, or actually I've been discussing, that since we're gonna get that fiber optic, and you will be now.
Did they finally get it
Finally.
going? Oh, okay.
Finally. And once that is laid, then you'll be on our internet, and so we also can put some cameras down at y'all's office,
Okay, good.
because Larry will be able to see them on his screen then.
So do I not need to then renew, with cleaning services then? Because they're the ones that were doing our cameras and stuff. Because it's up for renewal right now. The person who's got our cameras now, which right now they're not even on because we don't have internet that fixes it with it.
Yes, and who is that with? Is that
It's
Gardner?
Laney Services. Laney's the one that did the cameras at the jail. He did a bunch of stuff at the jail. He's got his own sheriff, you know him?
Okay.
Laney?
Well, if you have cameras, maybe those will work with what we got.
Yes, we got
We'll
those.
check that and see,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
before you renew, we need to talk about it.
Okay, I may just tell them we're past them right now. I mean, they're not up right now, we can't use them right now, they're unplugged right now, because the internet won't let them work, so.
All right, but it'll be connected in, so
Okay.
it'll be good. Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
thanks.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the trailer now, or?
We can talk about the building situation and all of that if you, I have called, a roofer, and he is gonna come and look at the roof and see what needs to be there. And there is some money in the budget, in that, capital outlay for repairs to the building. But as far as the other things, we've not really gotten into that discussion yet, the other things that you requested. You want to just briefly go over those again?
With on the trailer and the rest of the building.
So let's talk about these one at a time. The trailer's gonna, do you think it's gonna cost about how much?
I got some updated numbers. I was a little bit off. Again, this was just estimates. A lot of this can be whittled down. Right now, it would be about $39,000 just to get the trailer up. That does not include any of the communication systems in it. I think he's got an option on here for the communication system, but it's way outside. I think we've got enough stuff on there that it's not gonna cost near that much, so rather let Huffman take a look at that. I'll give each one of y'all a copy of that, and just let you ponder over it.
At this time, do y'all want to make a decision on whether or not we're going to repair that trailer? For about $39,000? Thank you.
Like I said, the trailer, if the trailer is up and in good shape, the trailer has a lot of value. Its uses are virtually unlimited. A lot of things that go on in the county it can be used for. Be used for if there's a major accident on the highway to come out so people can rehab in it, cool people down. You can use communications out of it. Even if some of the events you have around the courthouse, it can be used just to show off. So let the county know what we actually have and what we've actually spent money on. So I think it's an asset. It can be something else could possibly put in its place. You know, you probably don't have to spend that to have that trailer, but I think that trailer is a real asset to have. And you know, it should have been maintained over the years, but
Does every county have a trailer?
no. Several counties have trailers. Other counties, I know Rivera has one. Leon County has one. Don't know about Limestone for sure.
They don't have one. I think, from what the information I gathered, they let it go back.
I think they gave it to the COG. The COG has their trailer now, I
Well,
believe.
there was, at one time, when the Homeland Security money furnished these trailers and pickups, later on, there were quite a number of them that turned them back.
Correct.
Some of the disadvantages are having a vehicle to pull this trailer around. When you can load the vehicles with a lot of communications equipment you need, it just doesn't give you the access to be able to bring people into it, like if you're on a major scene to cool down or something like that. But
I'm not familiar with that trailer. How many people could get in there to cool down?
you can put 6, 8, 10 people in there, pretty easy. Maybe more. I haven't actually tried to stack
Even with
people
the
in. So.
equipment in there?
Yes.
You got all the equipment in there?
Yes. The radios are in a stacked tower, and then you have a shelf that runs along the side of the wall over here, and then another blank space over here on this other wall. So you've got quite a bit of room that you can set chairs and stuff like that in there if you wanted to. You know, it's even built. It's even got a table that is made to be stood up in there, kind of like in a motorhome. You know, that you can sit around and do stuff.
We can delay the decision on that if y'all want to go down and look at it.
What's the possibility of us borrowing one from some other county? If we had a disaster, I mean, obviously, we're not going to use it an awful lot. I wouldn't think we're going to have any, I mean, you know, you never know when you have one, but is there other counties that could let us borrow one?
The Hot Cog, we can use the one from Hot Cog anytime. In fact, when we had the man that was missing, they were on the way over here and they blew a tire, so they didn't make it. So we didn't have one. I mean, that's always a potential. And like I said, you can outfit the truck or a truck with the radios and stuff that you need to have a communication center. And a lot of stuff you just can't get people in.
Yeah, and talking about communication, we recently got several phones, satellite phones. Sheriff, didn't we get some satellite phones?
They're not satellite.
What are they called?
They're the first
So aren't those supposed to be used in special situations? I mean, isn't that a contact thing that you can talk on them at all times?
Yes, we have.
I
It
guess
assures that you get a connection.
Right, I guess
With your phone.
my question would be, could those not be used in an emergency situation that everybody would be able to communicate and we would not have to have that trailer?
Well, you can communicate with, like I say, I can communicate with the sheriff, but I can't communicate with the fire departments
Why not?
because they don't have those phones.
Some of them do.
Well, some of them do. Yeah, I know Streetman does. Streetman has one.
All right.
But all the other fire departments don't have those.
I think with our current tax situation, our revenue coming in, I'm not spending $39,000 on the trailer. That's me personally. We got,
At this time.
at this time, we're gonna get in a trap here one of these days.
I'd like to see it done, but no more than it's been used in the past, in the way it's gotten. I don't know if we'd spend $39,000 on using more, but right now, today, because we're gonna be talking about our tax rate and what we're gonna bring in. Today, I'm not spending $39,000 on it. That's just my
I'm
thought.
not either.
All right.
Okay. We'll talk about the building too now, or?
Well, we do have some money for capital repairs, and so I think we'll just work through that.
Okay.
I've already called someone to look at the roof, we do need to get that done, to protect the building, and then
Yes.
we'll just look at the other things
Okay.
that need to be done.
I'd like to
Those
know,
funds.
where's this building at?
Behind the JP offices,
It was.
JP and extension behind that.
Uh-huh,
It's Stanley's old deal, Stanley's
Uh-huh.
office?
Mhm.
yeah. I think it was, when Bobby Rutherford, one of Bobby Rutherford's first buildings, like there, I believe.
That's where Stanley's office, the precinct 3 office was, and the old barn was right behind it.
So this building, what are we gonna use this building for? What's it gonna be used for?
The emergency management office.
Why could we not use across the street over here that we have a building that's already available that has office space in it? Why could we not use an office over there and save that money that's on there?
We can do that.
How much
On
damage?
the fourth floor in the back.
Yeah, there's
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 one
an
office
office
down
space
there.
over there.
Well, we need to put the roof on it and whatever else we need to do
I
to
was gonna say,
secure
I
the
think we
building.
don't want it to just
We don't
because
want-
we're not using it, I don't think we want the county property to go down. So what all are we talking about, just a roof and?
The roof's in pretty bad shape.
Uh-huh.
The shingles they're rolled up, they're in pretty bad shape. Also, there was an air conditioner put in the south wall, and what they did, they just knocked bricks out and stuck the air conditioner in there. Well, when they did that, they didn't support the bricks. The bricks have to have a ledger to sit on. Okay, they didn't support that. Well, now the bricks are sagging above that, and a lot of them have fallen out, and you can actually see inside the walls on that. So, there's several little things like that. There's stuff growing up through the windows and big cracks around around the molding on the windows. Just simple things, just routine maintenance.
I most definitely would support, at least putting a roof on it, being that it is county property, to keep it from just being dilapidated.
I'm in the process of getting a price on that.
If it's that bad shape, don't you think we ought to do away with it? We don't need the office space, we got it over here. That's right in front of your barn.
It's a nice looking brick building. I never have been inside of it. It's a nice looking, from the outside, it looked really nice. I never have been inside of it, to look inside of it to see what the inside looked like. But the outside looked like the front building.
I was inside it years ago, and it was pretty bad then.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you
Didn't change
what,
much.
when y'all go down and look at the trailer, why don't y'all look at the
I'll look at
building?
it. Yeah, I'll look
And
at
make
it.
that decision.
We'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. What else? I do have a couple of things. We talked about the cars possibly not being in within this budget period. I do want to add to the budget the amount for the cars in a special line item that won't be used for anything else, and budget that out of our fund balance, because we budgeted it this year, and that money, if we don't spend it, is going to go into the fund balance. So that money still can be used and not affect our current tax situation, current budget situation. But that's the only thing it would be used for, is just if we have to pay for the cars in the next budget year.
And how much would that be?
160,000, 159 something for 3 cars.
And that's 4 cars? 3 cars?
3 cars.
We're hoping they're here by then, but we've been hoping since December.
We've been hoping a while, haven't we?
Yeah.
I thought it was urgency that we get those cars because the cars that we, what I'm saying is that the cars that we had at the time when we were buying these cars, that the cars that we had would not last another year or two. And here we are a whole year and the cars evidently still holding up.
They haven't got one down, and 2 or 3 has been in the shop getting fixed. I mean, our maintenance, I don't know what it is up to date, but it's running out quick.
Jeremy, have you talked to the people with the car?
Oh, yes. She called them. It's because they shut down for 3 months. When they shut down for 3 months, it put everybody
They just
on.
laid people off?
Yeah, they just closed down because of COVID. And then when they opened back up, there was some issues with the other places being closed, putting the stuff on. So it's just delayed everything all the way down the line. She calls them about once a month just to check in. And they keep telling us, it'll be a couple months, it'll be a couple months. And they've been saying that since December.
I support that. Putting 170.
Well, Linda is not here today. She's in a seminar is it an election seminar? At the office, but anyway, she's having to do that. But she's requested that we consider getting some new voting machines. And Mike, you said you had talked to the fella with the voting machine company, whoever they are, ES&S, I think is that correct?
I did. I had the opportunity to talk to them because I was concerned about what was taking so long to get our number. And so they kind of explained it like this. The machines that we have are somewhat outdated, and they don't have a software that they can update the machines that we have. So when they're trying to pull that information off on election night, the machines keep crashing. And so he somewhat compared it with the cell phones. He said that if you notice that every 4 to 5 years, you almost don't have a choice but to buy a new cell phone because the cell phone can't hold the updates because of the new cell phones that come out. Well, it's the same thing with the computer software with the election. It cannot hold the new update that comes out, so they're recommending that we buy all new software, which is going to run right in the neighborhood of $289,000 to $300,000. Now, he is saying this coming November election is probably going to be just about as worse as the one we just came out of. And I don't think that we can continue to have elections where it's 1 o'clock in the morning before we can get the results. So I think that's something we're going to have to eventually look at, spending that money to update that equipment so that we can get those numbers out.
Well, I hate to spend the money, but we do have to be sure that our elections are handled properly. Right now, there is a grant that's available, and it's going to be, I think it's $120,000, but we have to do a 40% match, or actually, it's going to be probably about 20%, 40,000. But I don't know how they calculated that because it didn't turn out to be the right number when they did. But I'm thinking it's going to end up being about $95,000 for grant. So if we don't do it now and take advantage of the grant, then, I think it would be to our advantage to think about about doing that, and now, while we can use the grant.
Sure, that's not the only company selling
No,
machines.
no, and I'm not saying we have to go with them, but if we're gonna have to do something different, I think we need to look at that, taking advantage of that $95,000 grant.
Are we gonna be able to get those machines in time for the upcoming election?
I think so,
Yeah, I think he said it's a possibility
yeah.
that he could check into it.
Is it the actual machine on Buckland out there, or is it something behind the scenes that does something different? Add
Well,
to
if,
whatever.
there's a packet of stuff that's in the original one that they gave you, we gave you, and it, I really don't know enough about it to be talking about it, but I just wanted to mention it, and she can talk to us about it at, the next meeting. But, it's a whole new system, new machines, new everything, more electronic, I think, than what, the ones that we have.
I think it'd be, money well spent, because I think, we could be in a lawsuit if something goes wrong and the numbers are wrong and somebody challenge us and, you know, because that was a mess this last election. And then in November, it's even worse than that. Just setting us up. And then to have Channel 10 News call trying to find out what's going on, it just don't look good at all. I mean, I don't really want to spend $389,000.
What, at 280?
$289,000, I think it was. But I think we're at a point where it's just outdated and we just have to update it. I mean, I know we bought the tablets and all of that and stuff like
I
that. but
think that those will work
Work
with
with
it.
it, yes.
Don't you think we need to check prices?
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I think we need to think about
Yeah.
budgeting the money
Yeah.
for it, and then we'll go from there. Doesn't have to be with this same company or anything. We're not voting on that specifically, other than to put something in the budget for us to be able to update our machines.
You know, I don't have problems buying them, I think we need to, if it will help on election night to get our election in, not be there all night. But I first and foremost want to know if they're gonna work before we do buy them. If we're gonna have elections run more tight, you know, get through our,
And we're not
That's the
deciding that
problem.
today, we'll be deciding in the next couple of weeks, but Linda can talk to us a little more, or we can have that person, or a person come and talk to us, but, I think we need to consider putting the money in the budget while we can get that grant.
if it'll fix this problem, we need to get that done somehow, some
And
way.
it's supposed to, but who can guarantee what, but it should.
Yeah.
Well, before I spent $289,000, I kinda like to know if it's gonna get there. or
I
not.
understand.
Yeah, I would do.
Kind of like a car, you know, it's supposed to
Yeah.
run, but sometimes you have a little problem with the new one. But anyway, that's all I can tell you at this moment is I'd like for y'all to think about that and for us to put that in the budget. All right, other discussion?
Judge Grant, I know you probably already have it in there, but I just wanted to do a reminder on that money we're getting for a hot call for that emergency management truck. So-
Yes, it is in there. Mhm.
Now,
Any
what
other
truck is
discussion?
that?
Pardon?
What truck is that?
We had submitted an application to the hot call for, a grant to get a new truck or to get a truck for, Bill Maddie's position, solid waste. And we were awarded 21,000 and something. And so that won't come in until October, so we'll have to have that in the budget. The money will come in and then we'll buy the vehicle in October.
Can we trade Dill's truck in?
Yeah.
We may, we can do that.
That'll help on
I mean, it'll be our choice what truck we buy and how we handle that situation, but yeah. But it is in there. Thank you, Jeannie. If nothing else, then,
Judge, let me ask a question, one real quick question. Did I see the Fairfield ambulance service, have they asked for a certain amount?
they are asking for an increase of $25,000.
Judge, I know I've been here,
Billy couldn't be here to talk about
Yeah.
it because he's deployed on some COVID stuff, but he will be at our next meeting, he
Okay.
said, to talk about it.
I would support that this year. I know for 3 years, he has come before the Commissioners Court and asked for $25,000 for the ambulance service, and we have given, I think last year we gave the library $10,000 apiece, where we normally, 10,000 apiece, I believe it was, with the extra money.
The libraries?
Yeah, both of the libraries.
Yes,
With the extra grant
yes, I
money.
know what you're talking
And
about, that grant money that we get
Yeah.
from
I would look at,
CCC.
Capital credits.
yeah, I look at changing a little bit of that to most definitely supporting the ambulance service. I think they have been, done a really great job, and we have not given them that money, and that was something that I would think that we ought to at least think about this year of supporting them with that $25,000 that they have asked for on the 4th year.
And he apologized for not being able to be here today, but he will be here next Wednesday. All right. If not, then we are finished with budget workshop for today. We will, before I forget, we will have a short meeting Thursday, but the only thing on the agenda for Thursday is to approve the road and bridge material.
That's tomorrow.
That's right, that is tomorrow.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. We do have a supplemental agenda, and on that agenda, we're going to discuss the tax rate, vote to set the proposed salaries, and announce the date of the meeting to vote on the tax rate. But we're going to take a short break, about a 5-minute break.